Hello and welcome to our farm. Normally I try to do, these 1-minute videos so that people can get on with their day, see what I'm doing if they're interested. But I want to talk a little bit in this one about broody hens, because I've been doing an experiment because I couldn't find anybody talking about transplanting hens, right? And I have this theory that I'm working on about the health of a chicken and its natural egg laying life. Everybody goes in and takes their eggs every day. But if you don't take their eggs, once they reach a sufficient amount, they begin to sit on them, which gives their body a natural break, because they know, hey, I've got fertilized eggs in me. I've got enough to sit on them. I've got a few more in me. I'm gonna get them out of me, and then I'm gonna be sitting. And they know this instinctively, but because we keep taking their eggs, right? Supposed to leave an egg if you want them to keep going in the same spot, because instinctively something's taking my eggs if it's empty every time. That's why we have false eggs, to trick them into thinking, hey, it's still safe to lay your egg here. Okay. Well, my thought on that is that is a natural process for our chickens. And our chickens lay X amount of eggs a year if we keep taking their eggs from them. But I've been trying to experiment, because this is my first time. So if this is your first time raising chickens and you want to go along with me or learn from a first time perspective, just keep on watching. Because these chickens that are laying on these eggs right now are the children of a chicken that I purchased with a duck. It was raised with a duck in a bowl without a heat lamp, because I didn't have any heat lamp, under my blankets, until it got old enough to hang outside. And then it was free range and it hung around my camper. And if I wasn't home in time, it would roost somewhere on my camper. If I was, it would come in and go to sleep on my refrigerator. So this chicken has mated with my now wife's chicken. She had a rooster when we met. Okay, so that's their son, that's my wife. So they made babies, and these hens are 2 of those babies. So this is their first time sitting. Now here's the thing. The experiment I was doing here is, can I transplant the eggs from a hen, excuse me, from a coop with egg boxes where they started going broody on them, to another place that's more controlled and where they don't get pestered by other roosters going in the box while they're trying to sit there. Because so far my experience has been, if you leave them alone in the coop, the roosters, they want to mate with them and they run them out. So I've started isolating the chickens that want to go broody. And in this experiment, if you look back at another video, we moved the hen and the eggs they were sitting on in a basket to this box. So these 2 hens were sitting in 2 separate boxes in the same coop next to each other. And I picked up Pretty Girl. This is Pretty Girl. She's always been the most beautiful, in my opinion. And this is Princess. Arlen named her Princess. And I know this is Princess because Princess got in a fight and her wattle got some damage, and she has a sister that's very similar in color. So the other day I come in here and I'd had this blanket over it and the door latched, so they couldn't get out, because I knew if nothing could bother them, they probably wouldn't leave. However, they do get thirsty and hungry, but for a couple days in the beginning, chickens they'll get up a little bit, because it is crucial, the temperature thing, or when it gets warm in the day, when the sun is out, they'll get up and go poop and use the bath and get something to eat, something to drink. But in the end, they will not move no matter what. Whether they need something to eat, they need something to drink, they're not going to move, because they know when it's crucial, them eggs have to stay the right temperature. So in this experiment, I got disappointed, because a couple days ago, after they had sat in here, and look at this. We even have a cat named Charlie. He doesn't really like being baby catted, but he's a good boy. He even has access to them now. But watch this. He knows better. He knows better. Them mamas will protect themselves. And since I've opened this door, I pulled the curtain back one day and they weren't sitting on the eggs and they had buried them in the hay. Now what that tells me is that they feel comfortable getting up and going about, and they have insulated their eggs. But what I was worried is that meant that they had, excuse me, since this is their first time going broody, that they had given up. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave them in this hen house, okay? This is what we call the blue greenhouse. That's a blue pull tarp. That's a bed spring above me with some hay on it. And then this is a dog pen that we turned into a greenhouse / now in the winter it's been a hen house. And this is the brooding bunks, okay? So I decided to leave them locked in here so they wouldn't leave and roosters wouldn't chase them out, and they would instinctually, if they weren't giving up, go back in here. So I pulled the blanket to about like this so they could still see to get in, but they still had privacy and draft control in these cold nights. Today, I come out here and I was very happy to see that they've went full broody again. And these beautiful ladies, if the camera's on them right, I don't know, are doing great. Oh yeah, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. You're doing a good job, and you're doing a good job. Oh yes, you are. And you just love not being petted, but I love petting you. Yeah. Oh, you want me to show me? You want to show me what's down under there? This is Pretty Girl, and this is Princess. And so they're co-brooding. So these are co-brooding hens. And this is what happened last time. We had 2 hens that went brood at the same time together. And we assumed that this was so one could kind of keep the other ones warm if they had to go out and use the bathroom and be gone for a minute. I know this video is kind of long at this point, and I hope you stuck out to the end. And if so, and if you like longer videos with content with detail like this, let me know. Hit the like, but leave me a message. Say, hey, longer videos, please, in case you've watched the short ones. But these ladies right here, we're looking forward to how many, I don't even remember how many eggs are under here, but we put a mixed batch, okay? Because we have free range roosters, free range hens. So they, even though sometimes it ends up in a fight, roosters will mate. We've got one big buff Warpington, I think is how you say it, who has a nice flock of hens all to himself, but they still got crossbred with a couple of our other roosters that came from Chicken and Dumpling, which was my wife's rooster when we met. So Chicken and Dumpling had 16 chicks. And these eggs, we've got blue eggs, brown eggs, pale eggs, peach eggs, whatever. We even got a speckled egg, but not in this brood. So this is gonna be a Bradshaw Farm mix. If anybody's interested in having some free range animals who brood free range but semi-protected and have free range babies, naturally brooded, so they have all those natural instincts. Some people say that when you incubate and brood, they don't have as many natural instincts, but these girls do, and this is going to be their first time. So if you want to see what happens to these girls, Pretty Girl and Princess, and what happens to these eggs, this is a transplant experiment, and so far it's going pretty well. Just hit that bell, and whenever I put up a new video, you'll know about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting our farm. My name is Matthew Embry Bradshaw. It's good to have you here. Peace out.